Civic Stars podcast. Join us for an inspiring episode as we interview local heroes from our city and neighborhood. Our diverse team of international podcasters shares heartfelt narratives and personal reflection.
In this interview for the Ethical Leadership Experience, Civic Leaders Among Us Stories of Ordinary People podcast. So my name is Jalen Thomas from Trinidad and Tobago, and today I have the great opportunity to present Miss Mariam Ilahi Mirza, my school's guidance counselor. Firstly, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
So my name is Mrs. Mariam Ilahi Mirza. I am the guidance counselor for the Ashley Boys College. I've been a guidance counselor for over 9 years. I have been to schools such as Parvati Girls, St. Madeleine Secondary, Gasparilla Secondary. I've been at the Learning Enhancement Center, which is also known as the Suspension Center. I've been at Astra Girls and Astra Boys. I have an Associate of Arts in Psychology, a bachelor's degree in Behavioral Sciences, a certificate in Guidance and Counseling, and an MBA. I also have certificates in Child and Marriage Counseling, Peer Counseling, Inclusive Education, and Career Development.
Thank you for that, Miss. That is a very vast array of achievements, and I'm sure that you will be willing to share your experiences with us. Were there any particular challenges you faced starting out as a guidance counselor, and how exactly did you overcome them?
I think one of my main challenges as starting off as a guidance counselor was going into a school and thinking that my theory, what I would have learned in school, would apply to what I was facing in reality. And it really wasn't, because what I would have taught, what I would have learned in school was strictly based on a certain culture and a certain time. What I faced in school was absolutely different. How I overcame that was I had to restudy behavior. I had to reevaluate behavior and reevaluate different methods in helping or, counseling children. And I would have had to study the culture of the school, the culture of the students at that school. And for each time I would have gone into a different school, it would have been the same. So it was always about reassessing the culture of the school, the culture of the students, and reassessing my methods and my techniques in dealing with those students.
Thank you for that, Miss. It is really interesting how one can reassess in a place to make things work. And that is for something that we should all take a page from. And I'm very proud of you for doing that. Thank you so much. Can you share some of the most impactful projects or initiatives you were involved in?
As a guidance counselor, we focus mainly on mental health. And some of the programs that I would have done quite recently would be the leadership program for our prefects and student council leaders at the Ashley Boys College, where I would have trained them in learning how to be a leader and how to be a role model for students, how to be a positive role model. I also focused on I started a project with the San Fernando Home for Displaced Persons, whereby our boys would come on a Thursday and they would volunteer their time for maybe 3 hours, where they would come, they would prepare meals, they would box out the meals and also help in delivering the meals to the homeless persons. We did, during COVID, to come out after COVID, when schools reopened, I did a transition program where I helped the boys to understand how to retransition into a face-to-face world, how to come back out, even though, a lot of people were scared during COVID and they were very frightful as to whether they would get COVID or, how to interact with people, social distancing and all those sorts of things. So my program was really geared towards transitioning those children from online classes to face-to-face classes. And I think that helped a lot because a lot of persons were concerned.
Being part of that leadership program last year, I felt that it really prepared me for this program and also the transition from COVID to a new normal through that transitioning program, I thought that it really prepared me. And I can say this on behalf of myself and on behalf of my classmates that that transition program really helped us, not only with our mental health, but to be resilient leaders of tomorrow. And I want to thank you for that as well.
Most welcome.
So there's one thing to be a leader, but a leader always has a role model. So you as a leader in your community, as a local hero, as we brand this podcast on, who or what inspires you to keep going through tough times?
I think for me, personally, when I meet students and I get to know them, like every year I would have a certain group. It might be the Form 6s like you all, it might be Form 5s, it might be Form 3s. And every year I would meet a group and they would change the way that I think and they would change the way that I see a future forward. And that inspires me. They inspire me. And when I see them do well and I see them push forward and I see the motivation that they have in themselves and I see the hard work that they put out, that inspires me to push and move forward because it helps me to understand what they need and it shows me that whatever it is I am telling them or helping them with, it works. And I want to do more. So I want to do more, not just for them, but for the children who are coming the next year, the next group of students.
That's really great because being one of your students really gives me pride that I am someone that I, not only I, but my fellow classmates and the rest of the student body are what allow you to push through tough times. That is really amazing. Thank you for that. So as a guidance counselor, you work in this environment where there are children with different abilities, some that have different characteristics. So what are some of the core values or principles that guides your work?
I'd have to say love and understanding. Each, as you said, children are different. And as I meet a different group, I notice different personalities and you see different mentalities. So it's always about evolving through love and understanding to understand that child and to genuinely love that child for who they are. Because if you love a child for who they are and you understand them, they are able to grow into a person that is able to excel because they believe in themselves. And because I believe in them, they also believe in themselves and they could push forward. So I think love and understanding are two key things that are necessary for my work to be as effective as it should be.
Oh, that is very heartwarming to know that. And lastly, what advice would you give to someone who wants to make a positive impact in not only their community, but in a global society to become a change maker?
I think if somebody were to ask me that question, I would have to say, you need to understand why you are making that change. You need to understand the reason for making the change, how it's going to impact those you are making the change for. You have to know what is the outcome of that change. What are you looking for? You can't, yes, it's beautiful to change the world and want to change many things and to make lives better for people. But why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you want to get likes on Instagram or you want people to be sharing your videos? What it is you're really looking for, popularity, or is it a genuine interest? Is it something that's fulfilling to you? And once it's something fulfilling to you and it gives you that inner happiness, then go for it. Whatever it is, small steps, small changes will change your world in a huge way eventually. So you just really have to know why you are doing it and who you are doing it for.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you for contributing not only your time, but your efforts into this interview, into this podcast. And I think the most important takeaway was probably your answer to the last question I asked you, that you need to find what you love and what you cherish and just go for it. So I thank you for your time. And I look forward to having more conversations with you.
Thank you.